It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Happy Independence Day, and that means we are less than 2 months from Michigan State's football opener at Northwestern, the defending Big Ten West champion. We're also one night away from a possible Tampa Bay sweep in the Stanley Cup Finals, and 2 nights from Game 1 of the NBA Finals with Phoenix and Milwaukee. And here to talk about that and much more is Team 405, Darien Harris, 5-year linebacker at Michigan State, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions and one of just 11 programs that have appeared in the college football playoff. And he is a Spartan's first director of player engagement. How are you, Darien?
Doing well, doing great. Going to be interesting not having NBA basketball tonight, but as you mentioned, we're only a few nights away from the final starting, so definitely not the teams we expected to be there, but I think that people are looking for a little bit of attrition in the NBA, and now you got it, so shouldn't be any more complaining on that end.
It's been such a strange season with the late start last year, then going through the bubble, and then the abbreviated season this year, and now it's going later than ever before. We might only have 4 games left for the NBA, but we do have the Olympics. I assume you'll be watching that.
Yeah, absolutely. A few events at least. Definitely want to see what Simone Biles is able to do. Definitely disappointed that Sha'Carri Richardson won't be running 100, but looking forward to her running, and hopefully they get back to what it should be. So I guess 2024, unless they start the 4 years on the odd number, but I don't think they'll do that.
Also want to welcome Graham Couch, and he is a sports and more columnist for the Lansing State Journal. He is a fellow musical theater buff, and he is co-host of Couch and the Rube. That is weekday afternoons on the Spotlight Radio Network. How are you, Graham?
I'm doing well, and the event that you aren't talking about is the Euros. I've been watching the Euro Cup pretty much every day, and I say this, a lot of people say they don't love soccer, but if you love the Golden State Warriors at their prime, at their peak, talking 2016-17 Golden State Warriors, I think you'll love watching really high-level soccer. It's the give and goes and the movement, very similar sports, and that's where my attention's been a lot, too.
Yeah, you and Darien can do a segment on that. I would rather talk about Joey Chestnut and the hot dog eating contest today. For Nathan's 76 dogs, Graham, you'd have a hard time beating that one.
I once did, 10 donuts in 9 minutes, but that's as much as I can do.
We'll be right back talking NBA up next.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Yeah, right. Pepperoni pockets, an atomic brownie, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch. You're the man.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What the hell you doing?
I'm going in.
Look at you!
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Sweet desire that you can't deny.
So the island is magic.
I transform people's lives, almost always for the better.
I'm you! I'm you! She face-offed us! This isn't face-off, she freaking fronted us!
Can't get enough.
Every guest thinks they can live out a beautiful dream.
Irresistible.
It's never that simple.
I know when you're not telling me the truth.
When you're face to face.
Let the adventure begin.
Why did you bring me here? Please know I don't get any pleasure from this. Okay, maybe just a little bit.
It's irresistible.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hardworking folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first, I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine at the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn. For the best in sports and entertainment ticketing, whenever those events resume, visit Brian and his terrific staff at theticketmachine.com. There you see the NBA Eastern Conference champion Milwaukee Bucks last night, and advanced for the first time to the finals since 1974 when they lost in Game 7 to the Boston Celtics. Bucks that won one championship back with then Lou Alcindor and Oscar Robertson. Darien, the Bucks got it done last night without Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Chris Middleton was amazing again with 23 points in the third quarter, including 13 straight that turned a 2-point lead into a 15-point cushion. Also, Jrue Holiday was outstanding with 27 points. And Jeff Teague, the former Hawk, great with those 3 threes that he hit. Is it possible the Bucks have found something without Giannis that they can now use in the finals if they get him back?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've found that Chris Middleton is the closer for that team, and not sure that was a surprise in the first place, but he definitely wasn't. Middleton, I'm talking about, wasn't closing like he has had to in the last few games without Giannis. So I don't know if I'm gonna go far to say as Chris Middleton is Batman and Giannis is now Robin. Maybe they just have two Batmans coming from alternate universes or something like that. But due to Chris Middleton's ability to shoot, free throws especially, I think he's their closer. And Jrue Holiday is just such a phenomenal player. A joy to watch. What he did on defense last night was exceptional. You can see why he's first team on defense.
Graham, I know you picked the Suns to win the West, and I said that the Bucks were going to win it all. If Antetokounmpo can play at 85 to 90%, do you think you might change your mind? How do you see that final shaping up?
The one guy that I still think is the difference is Chris Paul. And I think he's a player that, his wanting to win, his ability to will a team, his ability to take care of a team as a point guard and possession by possession. He's a guy I trust. There's nobody on either team more than him that I want in a championship setting to take care of his team, take care of the big moments, get the right shot. As long as he's healthy and playing, I don't really care where Giannis is. I'm picking the Suns. I think talent, you can argue pound for pound both teams, but Chris Paul is the guy that every team he's ever gone to, they get better, and his want to and how much he wants to win every single game and affect that outcome. He's the guy I look at, and he's the difference.
Yeah, I want to see what he does against Jrue Holiday's defense. To me, that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Darien, I want to take a look at these two teams and the games they played already this year. They met twice, and Phoenix won both games by 1 point. But the first game, Jrue Holiday did not play, and the second game went into overtime. And Giannis Antetokounmpo missed the last 4 minutes of that overtime. So these teams are about as even as you can get. And it took 44% three-point shooting for Phoenix to win those two. I think this is about as close an NBA Finals as we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. I also think both of those teams have grown since then. Again, you see what Chris Middleton's now able to do and what he's been able to do in the second halves of these games, really the whole playoffs. But with Phoenix, I think the key is DeAndre Ayton and his come to realization that he is a number one pick. He is one of the most dominant, I think, young big men, if not overall big men in the game now. He's going to go into next season looking to be an all-star, and that's all credit to Chris Paul. So I think with Ayton's kind of resurgence, this playoffs, we'll see how he matches up with Giannis if Giannis does get to play. And it just there's just something special, I think, about Phoenix right now. But not that the Bucks aren't doing well either. I could see this definitely going 6 or 7 games.
Okay, well, I'm outvoted again 2-1, but I'm used to that, living with a lot of females. But Graham, as we look at the schedule, and we're talking about the opener on Tuesday, and then we have a game Thursday and again next Sunday, give me the name of a player who's liable to make a huge difference other than the big three for each team.
I look at a guy like a Jay Crowder, right? Wherever he is, he was Miami last year. Wherever he is, he's on championship caliber teams. He's a big physical presence. He knocks down threes. Another guy who was drafted right around where Draymond Green was in the second round of that 2012 draft. It was unheralded coming out a little bit. That's a guy that big athletic, has an edge to the way he plays, has been in big experience moments. I think he gives, just another guy outside of the core three for each team that I think makes a difference for Phoenix.
Well, let me give you another one for Milwaukee, and I think Brook Lopez, not just because of what he did in Game 5, but he's capable of stretching the floor. He can go out and draw DeAndre Ayton away from the basket, and hats off to Bryn Forbes, making the NBA Finals.
When you take a look inside Dart Bank, you'll find a banking experience like no other. You'll find that each of our banking offices are made of local people making local decisions. Even through these challenging times, our teams and lobbies stayed open, ready to help you through all your banking and mortgage needs when you needed us most. So if you're looking to upgrade where you bank, we invite you to come see our Dart difference. After all, we've been doing this for over 94 years. Dart Bank, for what matters most.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Banana's Greenhouse and Flower Shop has a huge selection of trees and shrubs to help make your home the talk of the neighborhood. And while you're there, visit our amazing boutique with the cutest clothes and fun gift ideas. Banana's Greenhouse and Flower Shop, open 7 days a week.
Hi, I'm Travis Conti, Michigan Realtor with Coldwell Banker and your area Homes for Heroes advocate. I'd like to thank our heroes for all the sacrifices they've made this year. Our teachers who are helping to mold our children's future. Our medical professionals who put themselves in harm's way every day. Our military, both active and retired, protecting our freedoms. And our first responders helping those in crisis and preserving our safety. Homes for Heroes allows me to give back to you.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. There you see a look at the NBA draft order, the lottery teams, and the reason it is of so much interest locally. For the first time since 1970, long before Graham Couch and Darien Harris were around. The Detroit Pistons with the #1 overall selection. Took Bob Lanier that year. That turned out pretty well. Graham, are you sold on Oklahoma State's Cade Cunningham as a lock for the #1 pick, as a 6'8" guard who can lead a team to a title? Or would you consider something else if you fell in love with another player, or you got a package of players and picks you couldn't turn down?
Yeah, I don't know how that package would come together. Whether that's Cleveland, moving up from 3 or what. It's hard to imagine. You don't want to get too cute here. Now, I get that it's a great draft, and really maybe through 5 or even 6 deep. And Jalen Green, I think if you had Troy Weaver, just from talking to people who cover the team, if you had Troy Weaver in an honest moment, he probably wishes he had the #2 pick so he could take Jalen Green. Like, that's just this weird vibe I sense. But this is the organization that took Darko, right? You can't get too cute when you finally get another opportunity. I think the guy with the lowest floor in the draft is Cade Cunningham with, I don't, to me, he looks like the guy. And just how do you pass a guy with that sort of feel for the game? 6'8", can play the 1 or the 2. Because if he becomes great and you went another way, you don't overcome that as a general manager.
Graham, would you consider taking Damian Lillard if he was offered, Joel Embiid if he was offered, Anthony Davis if he was offered?
Well, Davis's age is one thing. Embiid health, I don't know. Damian Lillard's going to be like 31 years old this year. You're not in that position. Like that. That's not I love him as a player, but that's not a rebuild guy. And you need a lot of pieces around him quickly. I don't want a guy who I think's got 1 or 2 years left at the level he's at.
Darien, the only Big Ten player projected as a lottery pick this season is Michigan's Franz Wagner, and some people have him going as high as #7. Would you consider him taking him that high in round 1?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're talking about 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" wing player, a guy that can stretch the floor. That's what you need in the game right now. And I think he might be somebody who you look at it's difficult to kind of judge players in college because sometimes a game translates just better to the NBA, the professional ranks. I think he might be one of them. Because, I'm thinking on his numbers from college, they don't wow you, but he's a guy that knows how to put the ball in the hoop, shoots a good percentage from the field, shoots a good percentage from 3 and from the free throw line. I could definitely see him going to the top 10.
Graham, there was talk that Aaron Henry could be toward the back of the first round. Where do you see him being picked? What number pick will he be? And what do you think of his pro future?
Yeah, I mean, the consensus seems to be close to somewhere in the early second round, 30s, low 40s.
Yeah.
And, and so my guess is that's where it happened. I don't have any inside information from anybody who's said otherwise, but I do think he's a guy who can defend multiple positions at the next level, the 2 or the 3, even guard. I mean, I think he can be a player who can make an impact in a rotation because of his defensive ability. So I think he'll play. I think he can be a rotation guy. Yeah. Whether he is ever more than that will depend on how his offensive game develops.
I don't think he's going to be a first-round pick, maybe somewhere in the middle of round 2. Darien, I want to take a look at 10 Big Ten draftable players. Now, some of them might choose to go back to school, but if you look at these players, which are first-round picks and which ones don't get drafted?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Io in the first round. I mean, maybe Livers, but just based on the game, I think that's about it. Just based on the way the NBA game is, I'd see guards, not the big men.
Yeah, I heard today that maybe the second Big Ten player to be taken will be Joe Wieskamp.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jay Leno, and I'm really excited about the launch of the classic American game show, You Bet Your Life. This is my favorite show growing up. The comedy is really what made it. It was real people interacting. When I did The Tonight Show, as much as I loved talking to celebrities and famous people, they all had PR folks, and they knew what they were going to say. To me, the fun part was when we brought civilians in, because you never knew what they were going to do. And I think that's the key to a show like this. Plus, I'm working with veteran comedy and game show producers Tom Werner and David Hurwitz. These guys know what they're doing. Each show will start with a comedy segment, guests from all over the United States, real stories.
And the first season, we're doing 180 episodes.
I think this is the perfect time for a show like this, and I like the idea, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Hope you do too.
Get your brick on!
Lego Masters Season 2, Tuesdays on Fox.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
When you take a look inside Dart Bank, you'll find a banking experience like no other. You'll find that each of our banking offices are made of local people making local decisions. Even through these challenging times, our teams and lobbies stayed open, ready to help you through all your banking and mortgage needs when you needed us most. So if you're looking to upgrade where you bank, we invite you to come see our Dart difference. After all, we've been doing this for over 94 years. Dart Bank, for what matters most.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos. With 107 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. For a new or used vehicle, go green, go Graf. There you see a map of the United States with 12 stars, and those stars represent the locations, the home states of the pledges to Mel Tucker's program for the class of 2022. And you notice how far those stars are from East Lansing. This is a map unlike any Michigan State has ever had. Even the Duffy Doherty recruiting in the mid-1960s wasn't this far from home. Darien, as MSU's Director of Player Engagement, you can't talk about specific players before they're signed. However, as we look at this map and we see what Mel Tucker's philosophy is, it's a dramatic difference from the approach that Mark D'Antonio emphasized. What does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be national as a university, as you're building back a program, especially with us. We feel like Michigan State's a national brand. Everybody can recognize the Spartan head, and so we have to be national in recruiting. We don't want to block ourselves off from any part of the country. We want to be able to be open to everybody and build relationships everywhere. And I think that you're seeing that under the direction of Coach Tucker. So we're just going to continue to follow his lead in that regard and, continue to grow with our relationships across the country.
Darien, is Georgia the new Ohio for Michigan State football?
I guess it kind of remains to be seen, but we know what type of great football there is in Georgia as well as Ohio. And, whether it's Coach Tucker or some of the other coaches on staff, we got a lot of roots to the state of Georgia. So it's not difficult for us to go down there and convince somebody from the South that they should come up to the cold part of the United States and endure the winter. Yeah. It's always good to be able to do that because you have people that are familiar down there.
Graham, I want to take a look at the 24/7 Sports rankings from the Elite 11 finals this week in Manhattan Beach, California. And first of all, everyone should realize that they call it the Elite 11 because they pick the 11 best when it's done. There are 20 quarterbacks invited after regional competition. And what does it say that MSU pledge Caton Hauser from Southern California ranked number 10 of those 20 standouts, ahead of several players with more recruiting stars.
Well, I mean, I've heard good things. He's a guy who can throw on the move. It means he's good in shorts and 7-on-7 type situations. I don't know what it means. You want me to tell you what a 17-year-old in a camp? I mean, I know Andrew Maxwell was at that camp. I know there have been a lot, they've had a lot of guys at those sort of camps throughout the years. And, been a lot of guys. Messiah DeWeaver looked great in shorts and 7-on-7 situations. And that wasn't that when he got in live action. So, I don't know what it means. It's better to be there than not be there. It's better to show well there than not show well there. But again, you got guys in the program now. Hamp Fay, you giving up on him? Like,
right.
In this day and age, what a kid who's 2 years out or a year out, who's a commitment who hasn't even signed, what it really means, I'm just not going to put a whole lot into it yet.
We know that Andrew Maxwell and Brian Lewerke were much higher rated than Kirk Cousins, with his 2 stars and now close to $200 million worth of NFL paychecks, and Connor Cook, who became as successful as any quarterback in Michigan State history. They were not rated as high coming in. Graham, I want to take a look at Thomas Wilcher. And he was a running back for the University of Michigan, while Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback there. He's also a 3-time state champion coach at Cass Tech, the developer of 8 NFL players, and now, we're told, an analyst coming to Michigan State. What does Wilcher's hiring mean for the Spartans and for the Wolverines?
Well, it speaks to how important Detroit is and how important relationships there are, and you can't ignore that. You gotta be strong in Detroit if you're gonna win Michigan, and it's important to as much Darien talked about winning the country and having a brand that's everywhere. You want to win your state. And you want to win Detroit. Detroit's where a lot of the best players of the state are, and that takes relationships, and I think that's what it is. It says they understand that.
Darien, we've learned recently that Michigan State will be hosting Louisville, not Duke, in the Big Ten ACC Basketball Challenge, and we'll be traveling to Indianapolis again to play Butler in the Gavitt games, but some football scheduling news this week. And Michigan State now has a home-and-home with the Washington Huskies, and that replaces the games with Boise State. Why the change?
It's a little bit of my pay grade on why the change, or I guess not in my wheelhouse, but definitely excited about the opportunity to go out west and play a Pac-12 team or Pac-14 or however many teams they got in their conference, just like us. Not 10 teams in the Big Ten, but it should be exciting.
We'll be right back.
When you take a look inside Dart Bank, you'll find a banking experience like no other. You'll find that each of our banking offices are made of local people making local decisions. Even through these challenging times, our teams and lobbies stayed open, ready to help you through all your banking and mortgage needs when you needed us most. So if you're looking to upgrade where you bank, we invite you to come see our Dart difference. After all, we've been doing this for over 94 years. Dart Bank, for what matters most.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Forgiven.
Thought so.
Bundle bakery favorites like a tasty apple fritter, sweet cinnamon roll, or blueberry muffin with any size soft drink or premium roast coffee for just $3.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, come see us at Shaheen Chevrolet.
We've got Lansing's largest selection of used cars and trucks. Late models, low mileage, price to go.
And no worries, because all Shaheen certified pre-owned vehicles pass a 172-point inspection, come with a full detailed history report, and included maintenance.
We also have a great selection under $10,000, all with special internet pricing at ShaheenChevrolet.com. There's a reason Shaheen Chevrolet is the #1 pre-owned dealer in Lansing.
You get a better used car deal because you get a better used car at Shaheen Chevrolet.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. Thursday, July 1st was day one for Name, Image, and Likeness and a New World for collegiate athletics. Darien Harris, you were involved in the development of Michigan State's Evergreen program. What was the thinking behind it, and what is the university's role?
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that our student athletes had the state-of-the-art education in terms of what they'll be able to do with name, image, and likeness, and protective education, so that they could not only make the money off it, but keep the money and continue to grow whatever they make off of name, image, and likeness. So that was the thinking behind putting the program together. Definitely, with the introduction of name, image, and likeness, it's changed the landscape of collegiate sports and the opportunities for student athletes. And it's been exciting for the last couple of days to see what's been able to happen because of that, and all the opportunities out there for student athletes will just continue to grow.
I think it's important to note that the university isn't setting up these deals, right? Everyone is on their own.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Graham, as we look at some of the key points of name, image, and likeness opportunities, who stands to benefit the most?
Well, kids who are personable and kids who have big moments, I think. And like when I think of Michigan State, you think of the personalities of a Mike Sadler and what he would have, how I think companies or people would have wanted to attach themselves to him. You go back to a Cedric Irvin, and this is one of the reasons I think you can recruit, maybe you can really sell it in recruiting. Cedric Irvin, if he goes to Tennessee or Florida State, which were the kind of the powers back then that he could have gone to.
Yeah.
He's not starting and scoring 4 touchdowns as a freshman against Purdue. He's not the mega star he became really early. A moment for a guy like Jalen Watts Jackson, and I think beyond the main, the revenue sports, you look at what it might mean for women's gymnastics, certain places for golfers. I think there's just a lot of potential, but it's kids who have enough savvy to see it, because I think for a lot of us, it's hard to picture right now, and the market over time will work itself out. There's a lot of buzz right now, but eventually we're going to start to figure out what are these kids actually worth, and what companies are going to say is, do I really want to attach myself to them?
Graham, hey, there's a chance you could get golf lessons from James Pyatt or Valerie Plata. It can only help you. Darien, thinking back to 2011 when you arrived in East Lansing, what kind of opportunities would you have been afforded with name, image, and likeness? And where might we have seen your face or heard your voice?
Yeah, it's always an intriguing question, especially in the last couple of weeks. Not really sure, because the social media wasn't what it is right now. And I think that's, at least to start off, what a lot of this is coming from. So, even back 2011, even though it wasn't that long ago, I mean, athletes were garnering, deals, professional athletes with big name brands based on what their agent was able to get them, marketing rep, and it was all commercials. Now everything's through social media, which obviously wasn't as big back then. So it probably would have been more on the front of, starting a nonprofit,
Yeah.
starting a business, running kids camps, things like that.
Or running a radio station, probably, right, Graham? We could have done that too. Graham, assuming that you had the big-time athletic ability to be a star at Columbia College in Chicago instead of the editor of the school paper, what product or service might you have been involved with besides Lazy Boy couches?
Yeah, pizza places. I would have traded my service for all the deep dish pizza in the world, which probably wouldn't have helped my athletic career, but I would have sold my soul for pizza.
Graham would have said, can I wear number 1? Because I want to be part of Uno. We'll be right back with our Law of the Jungle segment. Tigers next.
Hi, I'm Pat with the Holt Diamondale Insurance Agency. Do you have horses, cows, or even llamas on your farm? With Auto Owners Insurance Company, we make sure that your life events and animals are protected. Call your hometown team today.
People are always finding ways to save money.
I learned to cut hair.
Fortunately, Xfinity makes saving easy and way less awkward. Because when you have Xfinity Internet and Add Mobile, you can save up to $400 a year on wireless. 2 great products, 1 great value. Saving made easy. Can your internet do that? This place can fix it. Thanks.
Get Xfinity Internet and mobile together for $40 a month. Visit an Xfinity store to learn how our Switch Squad makes switching fast and easy.
Your paycheck can be gone before you know it. We're here to help save your hard-earned wages. Discovering deals that are too good to be true. Shining a light on scams meant to rip you off. Watch Don't Waste Your Money with John Matarese. Monday on Fox 47 News at 10.
An all-new crime scene kitchen after MasterChef. Wednesday at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Champions. Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff for the best in Mediterranean food. That's why I'm there every week. There you see a look at the Major League Baseball home run leaders. And yes, there is a pitcher atop that list. Shohei Ohtani now has 31 bombs after his dinger today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., former Lugnut, at 27. Fernando Tatis Jr., San Diego, he is at 26. You see Kyle Schwarber, he's at 25. And Ronald Acuna Jr., I guess you have to be named Jr. to be on this list. He is at 23 and counting. Some amazing totals. And gentlemen, Ohtani, one of just 5 players who will have 30 home runs and 10 stolen bases at the All-Star break. But I want to switch now and take a look at the Detroit Tigers home run totals. And you'll see some vastly different numbers on this list. Jonathan Scope, he's having a career year. He's up to 16. He was as hot as anyone for a month. Eric Haas with 11. That's a surprise. Robbie Grossman at 10. The Tigers will be happy with that. But Miguel Cabrera just 7 as he closes in on 500. Willie Castro with 6, Wilson Ramos with 6. Graham, Major League Baseball has turned into home run derby with so many teams adopting a feast or famine strategy. For the Tigers, do they need a couple of big boppers who they know can hit 30 home runs to really progress and move up in the standings?
They need a couple really quality bats, but when you look at the field they play in, right, it is not a home run park.
Right.
And I love the idea of being a different kind of team. You've got to have guys who can end the game with one swing. They need at least one real big quality bat in the lineup. But you just assume have a really quality shortstop who's also a 300 hitter as your other guy. I think this is an offseason where they've got to go get 2 guys. And the fans deserve it. The organization deserves it. The pitching staff is good enough now, young and interesting, that this is their Pudge Rodriguez, Maglio Ordonez in one offseason type of offseason, and that needs to happen. And one of those guys probably needs to be a bopper.
Chris Ilitch said that he would be willing to spend money when the time was right. I think we agree now that the time is right. Darien, the Tigers held on today for a 6-5 win over the White Sox, despite Jose Abreu's 3-run homer in the 9th. But what does it say that the Tigers could get a win like this against the dominant team in the Central Division and win another series?
Probably not much. I mean, it's a nice feel-good story, I think, for the Detroit faithful. And, everyone's kind of on a high right now with Cade Cunningham coming to town. And you look at, the Tigers, they're not super far under 500, but they are under 500 and probably won't make the playoffs. But it's a feel-good story. It's something that you hope you can build on. But every time we say that, it never happens. So I think the time is coming. It's just not quite there yet.
Graham, I want to take a look at the Tigers week and talk about the last couple of months. Detroit finishing above 500 in consecutive months in May and June for the first time since 2016 and off to a good start in July. You weren't the only one to pick the Tigers under 68 wins that Vegas offered. Do you think now that maybe that was a little low, that they're projected to win 73.3 and that they could close in maybe close to being a 500 team the second half?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, winning 6 of 9 against the Astros, Indians, and White Sox out of 10 games, the 6 of the last 9, I think is a really great stretch. And obviously we talked about the 2 months. The real question becomes, you're already seeing Casey Mize now being limited to, 3 innings. You're going to see that with some of their other young pitchers. What do they look like? Are they going to move, on scope? Are they going to find a contender that wants him? Like, what will this team look like in August in terms of its personnel? I think will determine whether they finish above 70 wins. I think that there's some value in having some momentum continue beyond the season. But I also think they've shown enough now that you got to spend. You got to spend now. This team next year ought to be playing for a wild card spot. That ought to be what your intention is coming into the season.
Darien, we can get you to temper some of this enthusiasm, I'm sure. Let's take a look at the AL Central standings, and trailing the White Sox by 11.5 games, Chicago the only team with a positive run differential in the softest division in the league. Detroit is still a long way from being in playoff contention this year, but with the Indians pitching staff banged up, what are the chances that the Tigers could finish a surprising second behind the Southsiders?
Certainly possible. Pretty much from everything Graham just mentioned, got to see what they look like in August, but it's certainly possible. And I think if that does happen, while it may not warrant a playoff spot, I think it's a good enough good enough sentiment to, again, spend money in the offseason and look to make a push next year.
You have to walk before you run. We'll be right back.
This is Touching Lives, Securing Futures, presented by Modern Woodmen of America.
I'm Deb Hart, here today with financial representatives Gracie Bratz-Opper and Chaz King from Modern Woodmen of America. Gracie, is it important to get insurance on the kids, life insurance, and when should you do that?
That's a really great question, Deb. It's very important to get life insurance on children, especially the younger and the healthier that they are, and this will provide benefits for the rest of their lifetime.
Is it expensive, Chaz, to get life insurance for kids?
No, absolutely not, Deb. In fact, the younger and healthier they are, the more affordable it is, often less expensive than the cup of coffee you get in the morning.
If you haven't considered it, now might be the great time to get life insurance for your children. Find out more from our friends at Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures. You can call today for a free consultation. Gracie Bratz-Opper and Chaz King, thank you both so much for stopping by today. Again, you give them a call for a free consultation.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Value and Values segment, brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, a statewide organization with a proud history. The MHSAA supports broad-based opportunities for growth and teaches life lessons through the value and values of high school athletics. It's our first show in July, and that means we are less than 3 weeks away from the start of the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo, and very happy to welcome in to Press Pass former East Lansing High sensation, current Florida Gators track and field standout, and soon to be U.S. Olympian Taylor Manson. Taylor, congratulations on all you've done and the way you continue to represent Mid-Michigan.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me, Jack.
You could not have picked a better time for back-to-back personal bests than you've had in the 400 meters this summer. What can you tell us about those performances and your progress in one of track and field's toughest events?
That progress has been I'm very thankful that it happened the way that it happened. I remember earlier in the season, I did not hit the Olympic standard, and I wasn't running the time I really wanted to run. And I just have to remember to take it meet by meet and race by race, and just remember to just have fun with it and not take it too seriously. So whenever you focus on running your best and executing your race, usually you run your personal best, and that's just happened at the perfect time. I'm so thankful for that, and led to this moment.
Taylor, looking back at your years with the Trojans and how that helped you chomp opponents of the Gators, what was the key?
For me, the key was just to honestly always focus on my race and push myself. My coaches growing up, even throughout high school, always made it a key thing to push yourself, because especially throughout high school, I didn't always have a lot of competition at every single meet. So that was a key thing, was to just run your own race and know how it feels. So then when you are put in a situation to where you have competition, you know how it feels to run fast. And even when you don't, you just know how it feels to run fast. So I carried that over into college, and just no matter what, just ran my own race and didn't focus on anyone else next to me.
I'm sure there are some people that you want to thank. I got to know your dad from his days as a defensive back with the Spartans. And one of your biggest fans is longtime Michigan State coach and East Lansing assistant, Jim Bibbs. And it was Jim who first told me that Taylor Manson was going to be a superstar. And he is a regular viewer of this show. I know he's watching now with a big smile on his face.
Yes, I'm so thankful for Coach Bibbs. He's actually like my mentor, and I talk to him just about once a week. And I'm so thankful to have someone like him like in my life. And I'm thankful for my family and friends. And a shout out to JJ. His name is Jamel Jones. He worked with me all throughout high school. He was like my personal coach or trainer like throughout AAU season. And honestly, without him, I don't know when it comes to like my high school success and even getting to this point, if that would be possible. And especially I'm going back to Capital City and Great Lakes, Coach Jones, Coach Hollingsworth, and even Motor City. A lot of them, they were like the backbone to like a lot of my success. And I'm so thankful for all of them.
Taylor, a new event this year in the Olympics, and we are talking about the mixed 4x4 with men and women running in the same event. If you are running in the leadoff leg of those first prelims, how would it feel to be the first U.S. athlete in history to compete in that event?
It's so breathtaking and kind of historical because I never thought of it as being just because it's like the first thing in the Olympics. It's never happened before. So being a part of that history would be very, very, it's like an honor. And as of now, I'm just running the prelim of the mixed relay 4x4. And I don't know what leg I'll be, but I'm so excited for that new experience.
Well, we know that when you get back from Japan, we're hoping we can get you on the show again. And when you come back on Press Pass, you might be sporting your first Olympic gold medal.
Yes. Let's just hope that all goes well, and I'll be coming back with the gold, and I'll love to do another follow-up show with you all. So just let me know.
You can't be there for the opening ceremonies because the way things are changing, but that gives you something else to look forward to in 3 years in Paris, right?
Yes, it does. Thankfully, we'll be able to stay for the closing ceremony, so I'll be there for that.
Taylor, thanks so much. Best of luck from everyone in Greater Lansing. We'll be right back with our Cool and Smooth Awards.
When you take a look inside Dart Bank, you'll find a banking experience like no other. You'll find that each of our banking offices are made of local people making local decisions. Even through these challenging times, our teams and lobbies stayed open, ready to help you through all your banking and mortgage needs when you needed us most. So if you're looking to upgrade where you bank, we invite you to come see our Dart difference. After all, we've been doing this for over 94 years. Dart Bank, for what matters most.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
What were you doing in the 70s?
I was totally engaged in starting my business, selling and installing 8-track tape players.
Electronic Outlet is celebrating their 50th anniversary, bringing you the best brands in car audio, Alpine, Sony, and Memphis. Remote car starters from Viper, Crime Stopper car alarms, and window tinting to cut down on glare and add security.
We'd like to thank you, our customers, and Greater Lansing for 50 years of support. Stop by and say hi. We're still here to serve you.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for a Cool and Smooth segment brought to you by 4 great Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Okemos North and South, North Lansing, and West Lansing. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. Swing through any Culver's drive-thru and grab your fresh favorites. That's Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. There you see the leaderboard for the third Rocket Mortgage Classic at the Detroit Golf Club. The top 5 finishers, and not a lot of household names, but you had to shoot a great score to get on that final graphic, and you had to be minus 18 to get into a 4-hole playoff. Cameron Davis holed a bunker shot on 17 and then knocked his approach stiff and made the putt on 18 to get in, and he is your champion for 2021. We said there weren't a lot of big names, guys, on this list. There were some in attendance, and Bubba Watson was one who did fare pretty well. And he was close. He was minus 16. So tied for 6th, Jason Day, he was minus 13, top 15 finish. Ricky Fowler faded to tie for 32nd. Phil Mickelson tied for 74th after barely making the cut, and Bryson DeChambeau did not do that. But don't feel for Mickelson and DeChambeau. They are already on a plane to Montana for the match. It's Mickelson and Tom Brady versus Bryson DeChambeau and Aaron Rodgers Tuesday night. All right, Team 405, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's Mint Explosion this week? Darien Harris, what do you have for us with our play of the week?
Play of the week, any one of the 7 triples that Chris Paul knocked down in his closeout game, but I guess specifically whichever one was the one that led to Pat Beverly attacking him from behind. But in all seriousness, I mean, you got to be happy for CP3. 16 seasons, gets over the stigma on him that he blows 3-1 leads, 3-2 leads, 2-0 leads, and gets an opportunity to play in the finals. So couldn't be happier for him, and should be a great finals.
I guess you could also look at the 5 straight shots that Chris Middleton hit after Atlanta closed it to 47-45, and the fans were just starting to get into it, and Middleton said, not so fast. All right. What about our team of the week, Graham Couch?
Yeah, you could go a number of ways. I mean, obviously the Tigers had a great week. Either NBA team with the Bucks and Suns getting to the finals for both franchises for the first time in a long time. I'm going to go another direction. I'm going to go with the Denmark national soccer team, which is in the semifinals of the Euros. I mean, you got to remember, this is the Denmark team that began the Euros with almost losing Christian Eriksen, one of their star players, to a heart issue on the field. And it was one of the scarier things I've ever seen in sports. They lost that game. They were understandably shaken. They barely qualified to get into the knockout stages. And now they're in the semifinals where they're up against England on Wednesday, opposite Italy and Spain on the other side. So this may be it, but it's been a great run, and they're a heck of a story. And they've come together with some real resolve after that initial scare.
Darien, you're a soccer guy. That choice is probably okay with you too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm outvoted again. All right, for our player of the week, there were so many athletes that did great things this week, but there's someone in the media that I want to recognize, and that is Marv Albert. His final broadcast after 55 years came in as the voice of the New York Knicks, then did Knicks and Rangers games. In New York, that's hard to imagine, doing both of those winter sports. Became the voice of NBC, a little round ball rock, and called all Michael Jordan's 6 championships. And now with TNT, Marv Albert will be missed, and it's not going to be the same without him. Mike Breen will be broadcasting the NBA Finals. I want to thank Darien Harris and Graham Couch. We'll see you next week.
Hey Lansing, here's how to take your recycling up a notch. Please don't recycle plastic bags curbside. For plastic, if it's not a bottle, jug, or container, then don't recycle it curbside. And finally, do not bag your recyclables. Learn more at recyclingraccoons.org/Lansing.
Here at Accent Garage Door, we work hard to be your go-to garage door company. If you are thinking about replacing your garage door in the Mid-Michigan area, our expert installation crew is ready to serve you. So call us today for your free no-hassle quote.